Go, William.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Stardust Into the Vast. I am William, and I am your Dungeon Master, Game Master, whatever you want to call it, for this D&D 5th Edition campaign.
It says
of my
Game
own
Master on the
devising.
10.
There you go.
Are we taking votes for Dungeon Daddy?
No, that's
God.
me.
Okay.
I require a hammer or a trebuchet because some people need to get in the sea.
My daughter legitimately asked, I was like, hey, can we call you that in D&D club at school? And it's like, no.
No,
Why not? I can't tell you. You just can't.
you'll know when you're older.
We digress.
You'll understand when you're older.
Yeah.
Anyway, joining me today, we have Craig.
Hi, I will be playing Dr. Gerhard Wieder, the undead barbarian.
And John.
I'm John, and I'll be playing Durak, the chronergy wizard.
And Andrew.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and I'll be playing Mark Seven, the Warforged Buccaneer Captain.
And our newest player, Sam.
I am Sam. I'll be playing Herschel, the Barkfolk Alchemist.
And Cody will be joining us shortly. He's running a little late. He'll be joining us in a little bit. And Andrew will have to be leaving before the end of our session, so we're going to just dive straight into it. So when last we left off...
There's no
the
water
group of
around.
you-
We shouldn't dive.
Don't derail me.
Hiya.
When last we left off, the party had arrived on the world of Nocturna and begun their search into the local environments, trying to do what they could to find any sign of local resistance that they could use to help their particular quest to retrieve an ancient artifact that is currently being held by the imperial capital and its oppression of this world. One of their first stops was at a local roadside tavern, which very shortly after a bit of conversation was attacked by roaming monsters that seem to have been, according to the locals, creations of the Empire that they tend to dump out here away from the capital whenever they're done with them or don't need them. After a bit of combat, with the bartender's aid, the group of you put down these three murder bugs. They're literally called assassin bugs. These three murder bugs, and are preparing to make your way out. As the group of you are preparing the vehicle to leave in the morning, Jarkesh, the bartender, approaches and says, something else that just came to mind. If the group of you are in need of additional supplies and assistance, there's an alchemist whose manor is between here and Dragon's Mouth. I'll mark it on your map if you want to potentially take a look. He could be of assistance. He's getting up there in years as far as humans go, but he might have good supplies that will help you out in your journeys.
Well, certainly. That
That
sounds...
would be very...
You
There you
first,
go.
Captain.
That would be very welcome. Please provide us the coordinates, and we shall investigate.
What is the name of this alchemist?
Sam, do you have a particular family name in mind?
Herschel.
Herschel is just a family name? All right,
Yeah.
His name is Johannes Herschel.
I'm afraid you probably won't have heard of the school he's from, Dr. Vida.
Is it a name I've heard of?
You
No.
should.
This planet's been isolated from the galaxy for the past few hundred years.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean he's from here. He could have settled here.
Unlikely.
This planet's been isolated from the galaxy.
We're here.
After being told to go here. This planet isn't exactly on any major trade lanes.
Look, some people like to retire to the country. Some people like to retire to obscure planets that are living in weird space Amishism.
Or some people crash land.
Space Amish.
Some people get shot down, but typically those people don't survive the crash landing.
That's
Over the long rest, by the way, I swapped out minor illusion for light.
Probably wise.
So
Back in character, and sorry, Vitor turns to Durak and says, "You might be surprised. I have heard of a great number of universities."
yes, but any universities here are likely to have been established sometime in the past few hundred years, and with no foreign visitors. And by foreign, I mean extraterrestrial.
We shall see.
So he
Can't
marks
wait.
the location on your map.
I can't wait
And
until
you-
Vider asks the tree where it studied.
Hey, man, you about to hear something, I tell you that.
It's coming.
So
anyway.
you begin to make your way. Are you? It is sort of along the path that he marked to get to. Oh, there's Cody. Yep.
Hey.
Maybe. Is that Cody?
Soon
Are
as-
you currently muted, Cody?
We are Cody adjacent.
He's probably setting his headphones up. But
Yeah, that would make sense.
with the location of this alchemist manor marked on your map, you begin to make your way out. It is, like I said, it's sort of adjacent. Like the roads that lead past Legion Stand and to Dragon's Mouth are relatively crooked and winding, but along the northern edge of one of the roads near Legion Stand, like a good day's ride away from Legion Stand by horseback, which is to say a few hours in speeder, is a small area that is marked off for this manor house. It's largely self-sufficient. Looks like it has arrangements for a significant amount of staff, although from your recollection and understanding, this person supposedly lives alone. So you're not certain exactly how everything is maintained, but there it is. So I'm assuming
Alright.
you're going to detour to this location as you pass it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, there it is, the home of our mysterious alchemist.
So, the
Uh-oh.
the speeder
Hey, Cody.
turns off the road and heads up a less well maintained but still present road that serves to head.
Really quick, to catch you up on what you've missed, Cody, there's an alchemist on the way. And we're here.
All right.
The road heads up, and you find the gates of the there's sort of a somber air to the environs as you approach, and you find that the gates are parted and open, but you hear no sounds of any activity going on. As you pull the speeder up to a halt just outside the gate. You could theoretically drive it straight through, but it's a little bit of a curved area, and it'd be difficult to actually maneuver the speeder. So, be much easier to just walk in.
Yeah,
that-
no sense in drifting around the corners.
Anything odd or out of place?
Rolling perception.
I would also like to look
Sure,
around.
I will do that as well.
Normal, not advantage.
Nice.
Well, I accidentally rolled in D&D Beyond the first time, and I got a 21, but I didn't send it to roll 20.
It came up.
Oh,
it
it
came up
did,
as
okay.
21.
Yeah, it came up.
Yep.
Okay.
I see the 21.
Yes,
So-
yes, Cody. I had William look at your character sheet and give me the updates.
Oh,
Less relevant for you.
Oof.
You don't exist.
Yeah.
The tree doesn't see us
Nice,
coming.
nice, healthy +6 modifier. Doesn't matter when you roll a 1.
It's like everyone, hey, it's Cody! Trip and fall immediately upon coming on stage. That was a natural one for anyone not seeing that.
Yeah.
the rules.
They should be able to see it because this isn't in podcast
just-
form.
In case there's some weird people who don't look at the screen while listening.
Fair.
It's me.
But
It's also me. Hang on now.
I'm sure many of us here resemble that remark.
But the group of you make your way through, and the thing that stands out to you, all of you except for Cardon, who is just not paying any attention.
I hit my head on the door frame on the way out.
You sort of, damn it!
How
I
did
I
you
think there's
do
a piece
that?
of-
This is an open-topped vehicle.
he stepped.
Now I see why he's muted. His dogs are.
He stepped. He
Yeah,
stepped.
yeah. I just got home, so she's freaking out.
Ah.
He stepped out of the car into the wall that we're walking through. Is what happened.
But what the rest of you notice is that it is almost unnaturally still. There's not like, you don't particularly sense anything supernatural in the air, but there's almost a palpable pause, like that moment where everything just breathes in as if waiting for something to happen, when the world almost seems to stop for a moment
And I
because
interrupt,
something important is about to occur.
and I interrupt that silence by going, "Hello."
I'm gonna
And-
draw the
Go on.
pistol in my hip.
All right. So you begin to make your way into this place with weapons at the ready, just in case.
Well, one of
Um,
us has weapons at the ready.
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
afraid I'll
Max.
have to ask you to leave. The master's not feeling well.
Hang on a
He's
minute.
not accepting
You're not-
visitors.
You're not there yet.
Oh, give me a second.
Trust me, this will be a bit more impressive.
Man.
So this is, I feel, might be a bit more impactful to the people.
What? Than just walking up? No, couldn't be.
So, as you approach, you find yourself in a massive courtyard, probably 40 feet on any individual side. This large, open ground courtyard, dominated in the center by a single large tree of this sort of dark grayish wood coloration that sort of stands gnarled a good 10, 15 feet into the air.
It is in
with
fact
branches
a white
outspread.
oak.
Yes. There's a single white oak sitting in the center of this courtyard. And sitting at its base is an elderly human man. Probably you would guess, nearing on a century. This man looks like he has lived for a very long time. With this long white beard that flows nearly down to, like, almost to the stomach. And this receding head of hair pulled, like, all the way to that is bald except for the very back and sort of draws just faintly around the sides. The most wrinkled human face that many of you have likely ever seen, not being too familiar with humans aside from Durach. And this man has more wrinkles than your father ever did.
I'm sure I had like grandparents at some point.
Yes, but this man looks older than all of them because your grandparents had access to technology and medicine.
Hey, I'm also human.
Again.
Formally.
My previous line of work didn't lend to longevity in the humans I did know.
Yeah. And he's dressed in this sort of long, well-worn, deep brown and green traveler's garb. This sort of very long gambeson with these long draping folds that sort of keep the legs normally clean from dust. And he's just sort of laying against a tree, with his eyes shut and his breathing very slow. He seems to be taking a nap.
I was really hoping you'd say long one more time. Well.
Any sign of injury or just nap time?
He seems to be napping under this tree.
Well, we found an alchemist, I think. Or a charm bracelet.
There is only one way to find out. I would like to approach the sleeping man
Go ahead.
and
Mark 7,
reach
please
out
don't
and
do anything that might give him a heart attack.
I am sure he will be fine.
This is how everyone
As
dies.
I take a knee beside this man and lightly prod him in the shoulder, so as not to be the first thing he sees when he opens his eyes.
He's starting to walk up as well.
He slowly begins to stir, and his eyes kind of flutter open, and he looks up at the group of you. Ah, I see I have guests. It's been a very long time.
Hello, are you the alchemist Herschel?
I am Johannes Herschel, yes.
Yes.
Though I'm afraid my alchemical skills will be of little use to you. Still, I'm sure I have something in the storehouses that might be of use to you.
Well, certainly potions of any kind, or any amount of thing that might be useful for healing oneself after a battle. It seems that we're to deal with a selection of monstrosities that have infested a tunnel nearby.
Ah, a noble endeavor. Dangers the Empire weaves are great. You are welcome to what you can find of my estate. I won't be needing it anymore. I've known my time was coming for some period. I just wanted to lay beneath my favorite tree one last time before I passed.
Oh, alright, sir.
It's all right. I'll be in a rest soon that no one will wake me from.
Stab him in the throat, help him on the way.
Your supplies, are they local or are they imported?
Side note, John Mark 7 is reckless, they are not stupid.
Everything here is the product of my own labors. May it serve you well in your endeavors.
Vitor will come and kneel down. Mark 7 is still there or has stood back up?
Oh, they would get up as you approach. You're the doctor after all.
No, I just was wondering if they were also there. We'll come and...
It's not a medical doctorate.
They don't know that.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, that's a very funny reference. It actually is, though. And he will crouch down and say, you have, of course, earned rest at the end of your long life. Is there anything we can do to make your passing more comfortable, or anything we can bring to you while you stay here?
My good man, I am a veteran alchemist. My body is already filled with everything I would need to make this an easygoing.
Well, good. And Vitor will sort of reach out and, in a very sort of workmanlike manner, pat him twice, very precisely on the knee, and say, "Well, let's get to the workshop," and turn and sort of head in that direction.
And as everyone, make me another perception check.
Sure. 10.
That's more like it.
one.
Vita has stopped caring.
Vitor's like, well, let's get looting.
Oh, well, corpse is still warm. Let's loot the place.
So, Cardon,
Gobrick, is that you?
Cardon, as most of the group either turns to give this man his final moments or turns to just go and start looting, you hear his last breath leave his lungs as everything goes still. And that momentary pause in breath that you felt slowly exhales as the land accepts the passing of a man who has likely become as much part of the environment as the land itself, with how long he has lived and tended this place. And you also sense something else. You sense a stirring of magic. There is almost in tandem with the last of his life leaving him, the tree that he is laid up against begins to twist and shift. Branches begin to crackle and move with the wind as a form almost of a human begins to almost pull itself from the body of the trunk, as the shape of a new being brought into existence as the last of this alchemist's life essence seeps into the tree that he has spent so much of his life tending to and living around. And as that last bit of a lifetime of experience slowly makes its way into this tree, a new being is born from that inherent magic. As Herschel, you step forth from your home tree. What do you look like?
Well, a twisted and gnarled white oak. Its boughs kind of thick and purposeful in their support of a not unslender frame, but certainly not a willowy frame. Uh, the bark is kind of cracked and peeling off, and underneath you can see this yellow-green sapwood just covered in mystic symbols, spiraling down into infinity if he would let you look at them long enough. He doesn't really have a face, but he's got a collection of knots and a burl or two that looks like a smile. And he just kind of stares at all of y'all.
So I didn't hear the old man breathe his last, but I'm assuming I heard that.
Oh yes, all of you heard the cracking and twisting as a bark folk was born from this tree before your very eyes.
I assume we recognize him as a bark folk.
Yes, any of you who have lived on the galactic stage for long enough would know what a bark folk is. You may never have seen one before, but they are a well-known species.
Ah, well, hello there. I'm
Hello.
afraid I've never been at the awakening of a bark folk before.
I'm sure that makes two of us.
I'm not certain what if there's a procedure in... Vida!
Craig, you're muted.
Vitor is reaching out towards the door, and he sort of pauses, hand still out, drops it to his side, turns back, looks at the newly emerged form, and says, "Yes, Dorak.
We have a friend.
Has it told us we may no longer have the supplies?"
I was hoping you might know, like, if there's a precedent for people being I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Normally, you introduce yourself.
Let me take a look. Vitor will come back over and
Do you really?
look the person up and down. So what is? I mean, we recognize it as Barkfolk, but what is known specifically about the birth of Barkfolk? Is that commonly understood?
That would be a nature check.
Okay.
I'll make that roll. It's not one of my
19.
Hey.
Good ones, but 21. Maybe I did know, and I was just shocked.
So what the two of you recall as you put your minds to it, especially you direct shaking yourself from your shock, is that typically speaking, there are a number of ways that a bark folk can come to be. Anything from being directly inhabited by a nature spirit, to being brought about by certain powerful druidic essences or magics, to, as you suspect was this particular case, a lifetime of experiences and the natural essence of life slowly accumulating and building in a single tree until it just sort of naturally brings about the birth of a new being. In this particular latter case, the personality tends to be very largely shaped and formed, as well as the intelligence of the creature, by the experiences that were accumulated within the home tree that gave birth to it. So you would suspect that this particular bark folk's inclinations would be shaped by the fact that this one particular alchemist spent apparently a significant portion of his life around this one tree. So take with that what you will, and understand that he probably has a more relatively fully formed mentality and personality than most other forms of bark folk might be that are more spontaneously created.
Ah. There. Are you feeling calm and content in yourself, or is this whole process discombobulating to you?
This entire time, Herschel's been slowly stretching like you would before a big race, like really getting the kinks out. He's very excited to be moving. He needs to stretch first, though. Otherwise, you're going to get a knot, and it's not going to be good. Oh no, this is great. Actually, excuse me, one second. And he strides over to the other side of the courtyard and rubs on a chalkboard with his leaf until he marks out a 3 and writes a 2. That has been bugging me for 15 years. He missed it first go around. I saw it. He missed it, and he's been trying to give that lecture for years. Anyway, I'm sorry. What? Hi. Good to meet you.
Hello! I'm Dorak. This is Dr. Gerhard Weider. This is Cardon. This is Mark
Vida.
7.
How
Okay.
do you wish to be addressed?
Oh. You can call me Herschel. That's fine. That's enough of a name.
Acknowledged.
Certainly.
Is there something you'd like to do, Herschel?
I mean, what was? I was a bit distracted earlier. What was the master saying to you before I came around?
He instructed us to take all the supplies with us.
Yes, we're travelers from beyond this earthly realm, attempting to deal with some bit of an issue on this planet, and in the course of that, it seems that we need to go and rid a nearby tunnel of some ghastly beasts, and we were seeking aid here from the alchemist Herschel, who instructed us that while he would not be able to provide us with any direct assistance, that perhaps we could take the supplies that he had left about the place.
Ah, well, this is excellent news then, because I can provide you direct assistance.
Can you?
Oh, yes.
It seems to me, Durak, that the new Herschel is familiar with the former Herschel, for lack of a better descriptor. His academia and knowledge, he may be able to provide direct help in the field if, at this point they turn to Herschel, if, of course, you desire to come with us.
Certainly. You don't get to be the tree of an alchemist without picking up a couple of things.
Very good.
Tell me, if I may inquire, how much of your previous, more static life do you recall at this point? You were able to correct the calculations. Do you find all of it coming back to you, and you have a lifetime of experience centered in this one locus?
I mean, was something supposed to have left?
No, simply curious. I have not had the opportunity to answer that question before. Well, then, that being as it were, I assume you would like to expand your area of expertise.
Oh, the work is never done.
Very
Absolutely.
good. Well, are you familiar with where the master, as you call him, would keep his supplies?
I'll answer this one for you. You've been stationary since you were
Yeah.
planted.
I know that chalkboard very well. Everything else kind of new. Didn't know he painted. We can muck around together though, shall we?
Prior to that, is there something in particular you'd like us to do with the body, or just leave it?
If you look back at the body, it's very much been consumed by the roots and
Oh.
pulled in underneath the tree.
Never mind.
Marvelously convenient.
It's as fitting a spot as any, I think. And I think he'd enjoy it.
You would
He
certainly
did
know
indicate
best.
it was his favorite place.
We did get on
And-
well.
And ultimately, you did know him best.
Duroc just looks very confused and flustered.
That's two.
Well, shall we see about preparing for our ongoing journey?
Indeed. I'm
Yes.
most anxious
Right
to see
this
what I can
way?
find of use.
I'll just start opening doors until I find something that looks like it's bubbling.
That's probably a good way
I
to
would
go
come
about
with you to ensure you do not get lost.
it. I'm gonna go wait by the car.
Yeah, there's an amount of knowledge of the layout of this place that you have just by the fact that it is a place that some of his knowledge has innately seeped into you, but you don't have the experience of having walked it. So it's sort of like trying to remember the layout of a building just by someone having described it to you.
Okay.
So
Then I can confidently stride towards the lab at that point.
yeah, you have enough knowledge to try and direct yourself to specific rooms, but you've never seen the inside of this building.
Mark 7.
Yes, Dirac?
You may wish to send a message back to Wrenches if our friend is going to be coming with us.
Acknowledged.
I didn't spot much in the way of greenery on the ship.
I am sure we will find some manner of accommodation. They then turn to Herschel, which brings a question to mind. How do you feel about leaving this planet and traveling the stars?
Which stars? Those stars?
Yes. We have a ship that is capable of getting us off-world.
I mean, how capable? There's been people in the past.
I
They
pray
didn't
that you
it
do.
didn't
I hope you do not ask that question around my chief engineer. She will want to carve a new one into you. In all seriousness, it is gnomish made and is capable of considerable leaps through interstellar and FTL capability.
The master's father was a keen astronomer. It would be nice to take some of his notes up. Sure.
Is there a specific connection to your progenitor tree? Do you need to return here every once in a while? I apologize, I am less familiar with your species than I would like to be.
To answer that, no. Once a barkfolk is born of their tree, they're basically independent of it. The only thing they need is to eat.
Yeah,
which is usually by setting roots. Although if you can't find any soil, you can eat the traditional way.
I think I'll be fine. I mean, I certainly don't want to see anything to happen to it, but you know.
How familiar was your master with the fact that there is a galaxy teeming with life off this planet? This does not seem to come as a surprise to you.
To
Well, as
answer
I
that,
said,
he had heard the stories from the Kardosh that still exist in this area, but he was born after the crash, so he's never seen off-world. He's only heard stories about it.
his father was obsessed with astronomy. Took many observations. So I mean, it's a big universe, and the stories they tell. I mean, they're bound to be true somewhere in there, right?
You
There is
might be
only one.
surprised.
There is only one way to find out.
And you
If
will
I
have
had a mouth, I would. If I had a mouth, I would be smiling.
and you will have that most cherished of all scientific opportunities, that of personal observation. Think of that, yeah?
Science is only science if you write it down.
Aha! Indeed.
This whole time, I've been strapping bottles and beakers and apparatuses in my branches, just nailing them on where they don't fit. Just really loading myself down with everything I can out of this.
Oh.
As you move through the building, Herschel just sort of reaches out, grabs a shield off of the wall, grabs like a handful of bottles that had been set on a table, reaches over, grabs a spear. Just everything that seems interesting to him, he begins to slowly kit himself out with his starting equipment.
Vider is following around going, oh, that really, no, that should really be kept level. Oh, no, and no, that you have that one upside down. Oh, but we've lost the top of that. That we can make another.
Stop touching. Stop arranging them. I have them where I want them. If I wanted them in a different spot, I would put them in a different
Yes,
spot.
but
No.
But this one I can keep, and he starts grabbing some of the more precise equipment off the shelf.
You get hit with a switch.
I love the two different scientists of opposing viewpoint.
Meanwhile,
Perhaps
back in the
Dr.
car
Vida-
with my owl.
Perhaps, Dr. Vida, it might be best to let the newest member of our, company, perhaps? I forget the nomenclature. Go about their business.
But we also have business, yeah?
Yes, and we will get to it in time.
To slightly shortcut the scavenging. Aside from Herschel's starting equipment, you can also find another set of alchemist supplies, an herbalism kit, and let me roll to see just how many.
Is that herbalism kit for someone?
No, it's one of the items that you have in this loot.
Okay.
You can distribute it however you feel like.
You can use herbalism kits to brew health healing potions.
Well, I have an herbalism kit, is all.
Yeah, there's another herbalism kit outside of your starting gear.
Okay.
Ooh, I could use that.
And there are 2 potions of healing, and 2 greater potions of healing that are available.
Greater.
This would be something I think worth you're taking along.
Also, a potion of fire resistance.
The tree man loves it.
Yeah, I think this will also be useful for you to have.
Would you let me roll on my artificer weird potion table?
Yes, go ahead and roll that, and you will also find that potion sitting around.
Cool. So 1. So I get a... Oh, if I had this up, I'd be smart, wouldn't I? I get another healing potion. 2d4 plus int mod.
A better healing potion.
A slightly different healing potion.
Yep. Experimental elixir.
Now, these, do you feel appropriately calibrated to work on your specific physiology?
Oh, that's the great thing. They don't need to be calibrated. They just work.
Vitor looks very affronted, or would if he had a visible face.
From outside, it's magic.
No, in this case, it's dirt. And he holds up the potion. It is just full of mud.
I will think it would be best then if you keep that one.
Oh no, it'll work on you too. It's great. Believe you me.
yes.
This isn't my recipe.
I'm sure it's a wonderful one. When you have a moment, as I am,
As it turns out, some of the local earth of the region has soaked up some of the ambient magic and has sort of assumed some medicinal and healing properties.
yes, I am, I suppose, the doctor of our expedition. Would you have a moment? Would you submit to a small sample being drawn, so that I can better assess and calibrate my own equipment? Yours very well may not be in need of calibration, but I should like to make certain that if the need arises in this pit, as they say, which we will be visiting, that I will be able to see to any injuries which may arise.
I mean, turnabout is fair play, Doctor. I'll give you a twig, but I want like maybe a pinky or something small. What can you lose?
I have lost more than I would care to say at this point. The rest are somewhat in short supply, but I would be more than happy to share the readouts of my physiology once we return to the ship, if that would be sufficient.
Hmm. Okay.
What we have here right now is a traditional scientist and a homeopathic doctor having a discussion.
Except that the homeopathy actually works.
I mean, yeah.
The less dirt I put in, the more powerful it is.
Exactly. This beaker contains one molecule of dirt, and all the rest is water.
I was going to say because you replaced the rest of it with, actual healing herbs.
Yeah. I didn't have any water, so I used this big jug of healing potion. I don't know.
We take one molecule of fantastic healing mud and surround the rest of it in a diluting solution of antibiotics.
William, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I have a communicator. Am I still within range of the Studious Vanguard?
I will say, does the communicator have a specific range listed on it?
5 miles?
You're outside of that by now.
Okay. But yes, while the two doctors are going about their business, I would check the range to see if I was able to contact wrenches, and finding that I am not, I will simply let them continue their work.
Mm-hmm.
If only someone had a spell that could deal with that issue.
Yeah, but you're not there, so...
No, I also don't have it prepared.
Did Herschel take
Cardon
the other
wanders
alchemy
back to the
supplies?
car.
I have a set, so if you need a set.
Okay. I don't need it, but there's no way Vitor wouldn't take them.
Sure.
Which utensils was it?
Alchemist
Yeah,
tools.
alchemist supplies, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, take them.
Anyone got dibs on the herbalism kit?
No, I have
I think
one.
Cody said that he could use it.
Okay.
Yeah, Cardon probably would have been like, ooh, and then if no objection was had, then he probably would have just wandered back out to the car with it.
Absolutely.
So, with the building thoroughly looted, aside from a few changes of clothes, if any of you wanted to take some outfits.
Ooh, this is very nice. It's very rustic.
It wouldn't fit you. Put it back.
I'm not taking it.
Durak's outside at the car, like, do you guys have any pants?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not taking any of the clothes now.
You know, funnily enough, Herschel has almost the same proportions as the late late alchemist, and so fits perfectly inside Johannes Herschel's armor, which he proceeds to don when he finds it.
Ah. What is this? What does it look like? What does the armor look?
It looks like scale mail, but not of the. It's not of the same quality that you would find.
It's bark mail.
That you would expect to find on this planet. It looks like it's been heavily alchemically treated over time, and has a level of resistant quality that you would expect to find in armor made of more modern materials, which is to say, it will actually stand up alongside your armor.
Well, I will have to say, Herschel, this is surprisingly competent work.
Of course. I mean, this is
Congratulations to your
when
late
you deal
master.
with enough explosions, you have to come up with some good armor.
Aha. A scientist at heart, after all. You, I think, may get along well with Mark 7's engineer.
Wrenches is less inclined to explosions aboard ship than I imagine you might be.
How
That
does
said-
wrenches feel
we-
about acid?
We have set up a laboratory in the armory and cargo bay. It is, however, rather small, so please do keep explosions to a minimum.
Also, Captain, I'm not sure what you are implying. I am, as I have previously said, a doctor, not a demolitionist.
I apologize if I have accidentally chosen the wrong words.
No. If suffice it to say, in my line of work, if there are explosions, something has gone terribly, terribly wrong.
No offense,
I can
Doc.
appreciate their efficiency.
An owl flutters over nearby and stares at the group of you.
Durak is waiting outside. Is there anything else you would acquire?
How did you know Durak was waiting outside? Which one is Durak?
The human. This owl is his familiar. He appears to be a wizard of some descriptor.
Is that an owl?
Yes.
It looks like a fat eagle.
It looks like a fat eagle.
the size of a small child.
As much as it might look otherwise, I believe we have been assured that it is in fact an owl.
You're not incorrect. It does indeed look like a feta adler.
It's just staring at the group of you.
So, eventually you reconvene at the speeder.
It pointedly drops a turd and then flies back.
I knew it. I knew that thing was full of scheisse. Make sure to keep it away from my equipment when we return to the ship. Durak, I know you can hear me.
Oh, that's the point. Like, someone might eventually mistake Circe with, like, a young avian.
Right. So we have the coordinates for the our next destination.
Sure, sir. Yeah, is everyone ready?
I suppose.
You say that, and Mark 7 is already setting up the speeder.
Anything else you need to do before leaving? Maybe sometime before we return, or we may never return.
No, I am good.
Herschel
I'm
just
good. Let's go.
grabs a torch, throws it at a building. All right, let's go.
Cool trees don't look at explosions.
I believe there should be a room here. I say, indicating the middle seats that were previously occupied only by Dr. Gerhard Weider.
I'm stretching out.
Peter, by the way.
I know.
I've been assuming in character that Durak is mispronouncing it on purpose.
No, he's absolutely not.
No, but Vider is assuming that.
Yeah.
That's once everyone is settled in,
It's
I
that-
will
it's that
start driving us away.
It's that subconscious English v German attitude.
So, you find that your mobility is limited when sitting in this position? Do Herschel's legs hinge in the sort of standard humanoid way, knees that
Yes,
bend
actually,
backwards and so on? Okay.
More than many bark folk, Herschel seems to have a very humanoid frame. You would probably associate it with the nature of the person whose life experiences make up most of his construct life essence.
Okay. And he is, you said just about the size that the human alchemist was, correct?
Yeah, just about.
All right.
Maybe
Probably
with a few
probably closer to the Doctor in his prime, like during the prime years of his life,
Sure.
with the addition of some branches.
Yeah.
Also, I've determined that if Durak dies, I'm coming back as a Barkfolk wildfire druid.
Ooh. Ooh.
Just a burnt tree wandering around.
Name is Matches.
No. Name is Ash. Came from an elm.
Hey. No, name is Ash, came from an oak.
I considered saying oak.
Professor.
Oh.
Anyway.
So about that speeder, huh?
Yes,
So-
once everyone is settled in, I would start driving.
Based on the information that you've got, it will. I believe I said last session. I almost said yesterday. I believe I said last session that it would be probably a day or two to get to Dragon's Mouth.
Hmm. That sounds about right.
Ooh, in that case,
So
at
unless
one
you have any
point-
conversations that you need to have,
oh, never mind.
Probably conversations that honestly would take more scientific knowledge than I, as a player, have. But I think Vider would be very interested in gauging the depth of Herschel's knowledge.
Oh, I mean, he's been a tree for like a couple hundred years, listening to Johannes and then William, his father before him, just blather on. Like that's where they used to go and practice their lectures. Was in the courtyard, and you can't help but overhear. And then once you overhear, you can't help but to pay attention and start to listen when it's the only thing happening around you. So, whatever they were giving lectures on, he heard over and over and over again.
Once we are
So,
off and we have
he
the
has
opportunity,
he has a combined about 150 years of continuous lecturing.
no, Herschel, once we are off planet and we have the opportunity, you really come to Everflame University and hear a proper lecture.
I'm sorry. What is a proper lecture?
One
Also,
given to
you just invited a tree to a place called Everflame.
Does that strike you as something that would occur? Or
Oh, no, absolutely not.
maybe not occur that Vito would care about. One given in a lecture hall with all of the appropriate demonstrations that proper technology can provide. I think you would find it rather interesting. In fact, if you would be up for it, perhaps we could have you provide the unique perspective on the shall we say, scholastic primitive style that you have developed here.
There is a non-verbal click from Mark 7 at the mention of primitive.
There's an eye roll so hard you can feel it throughout the car from Durak.
Yeah, Mark 7 can't do that.
Primitive. Interesting. Primitive. Does this look primitive? And he pours out a gallon of mayonnaise out of his alchemical jug.
Vita just looks at it and says, I apologize. This may be perhaps some confusion from your newly emerged sanctions, or perhaps something that my translation filters are not properly. Are you asking me if the emulsion of eggs and oil that you have produced from an old jar approaches me as something simplistic or primitive in style? Yeah.
It's really weird. Okay, maybe I didn't do it right. I only ever heard it, but whenever he did that, it generally got like applause. Usually, maybe I did the setup wrong. Hold on, let me try it again. Does this look primitive? And he pours another gallon of mayonnaise on you.
No. I think what we are missing here, and Vita is sort of absentmindedly taking an utterly inappropriately sized handkerchief to attempt to mop up the now 2 gallons of mayonnaise. No. I think where we are having a failing of communication is that, you know what? Yes, this would be absolutely perfect. Is this the sort of thing that you would be comfortable doing under observation?
I mean, I don't see why not.
Marvelous. Well, then
are you ready now? Should we do it now?
Oh no! This is something that
he's
that
got it lifted. He's pouring.
No. Again, but this enthusiasm, I think, suits you very well. I would very much appreciate the opportunity to present this back at Everflame.
Holy shit.
Some days I thank my creators that I can disable my olfactory sensors. Also, I am not cleaning that up.
There's just a smell of 3 gallons of mayonnaise being poured on an undead. To be fair, the exosuit keeps the undead smell from being noticed, but...
Unfortunately, I didn't prepare the appropriate cantrips for the day, so you're just going to have to deal with that yourself.
No. The cleansing when we are back at the ship should be fine. Does your Feta Adler enjoy this concoction?
Didn't you bring the Orb of Cleansing?
Yes.
This kills the entire party.
Where is the where is the owl right now?
Sitting either on my staff or on top of Herschel, one of the two. Because branches presented themselves.
Okay. It seems tremendously wasteful to leave it behind. Perhaps we could contain it somehow and give it as a gift to the natives. You said this is something that is seen as a feat of wonder here, yeah?
I mean, the jar. Oh, you didn't see the inside. The jar is empty before the mayonnaise comes out.
Yes, there is rather more of the mayonnaise now than there would have been room in the jar. I had surmised that it was alchemical in nature. Are we passing by any sort of inhabited areas at this point?
Hey, strangers, you want some speeder mayo?
Yeah,
exactly.
I
got this.
Dr. Vita.
The last inhabited...
Go ahead, William.
The last inhabited place that you passed was a small village that you've already sped by and have been going by for a while. You do see, coming up shortly, as this is about halfway through most of the way through your trip. There's not much further to go, but you do see on a large hill, almost like a plateau. There's this area where the landscape rises upwards at a relatively steep incline, but still walkable. But there's a point where it rises up about 50, maybe 60 feet. A significant rise in elevation that then just plateaus, like completely flat. And sitting on that plateau are the ramparts of what looked to be a fortress city, which, based on your map, would be Legion Stand.
Ah, good. We have potential recipients for it. He will take some and put it into a specimen jar, though.
It's the finest quality. Made only with the egg yolks, not the whole egg, which makes a big difference.
Oh, I will be honest, it has been quite some time since I've had the opportunity to enjoy a good mayonnaise. You will accept my apologies for not sampling it myself at the moment. He kind of gestures to the mirrored helmet that is sort of multifaceted and reflecting bits of the environment around you all.
We are coming up on settlement known as Legion's Stand.
I believe we need to go past it, though, to the north.
Indeed. Are there still roads around here?
Yes, they're less kept up, but the roads do exist.
Yeah, so I would continue to follow those as I turn further north and head for the caverns that have been mentioned.
Yep, and so eventually, another couple of hours of travel later, the speeder pulls to a stop outside of a set of a rock face with a particularly large cave mouth, whose protrusion over the top seems to extend for a good distance, and the stalagmites hanging from it do sort of evoke the toothed maw of a dragon.
Feeder has scooped the majority of the rest of the mayonnaise into a little pile in the seat between him and Herschel.
Very, very, secretively, while Vider is in the midst of scooping mayonnaise, I will take the cleansing orb out of my bag and just, touch it to the back of his head. Tink. And the mayonnaise vanishes.
I make an Arcana check to see if I can figure out what happened.
And I put the orb back.
11.
As far as you can tell, the mayonnaise just disappeared. You would assume someone probably cast a prestidigitation spell, pretty basic magic, but
Then he quickly checks his specimen jar. Is the sample still there? Okay.
Yeah, the sample's still in the jar.
It would have been hilarious if it wasn't.
Oh, I have a feeling I could get more if I needed.
Oh, all the mayonnaise you can drink.
Mildly uncomfortable with
I
that.
don't think I like mayonnaise being described as a drink.
Yeah, mildly uncomfortable.
You look like
I've not had a functioning gastrointestinal system in 50 years, and yet that's still somehow.
you look like a tall glass of mayonnaise.
John, I told you
After a
so
hot-
my Tinder profile.
After a hot summer day, there's nothing better.
Crack
man.
open a can
put
of
this-
mayonnaise.
Yeah.
I put the speeder in the pocket, get out.
I like mine hot.
Cracking open a mayonnaise with the boys.
My mayonnaise brings all the boys to the yacht.
Oh, God.
What hath science wanted by science? I mean our big stupid mouths. And yes, I am including me in that.
That hurts.
At the moment, science hath wrought this fucking cave.
Yes,
No, nature
we
did that.
have sidetracked again. Yeah.
Welcome to the map.
Oh, you ever get yourself so hard it hurts?
Yes.
Oh. Oh.
All right. So
Is this cave pitch black for everyone else?
Yes.
Should have vision.
Yes,
I can see my token, but nothing else.
yes. That's
Oh, that's right. You're
that's
not.
because
Damn.
hang on.
Cersei's the only one that has dark vision. So-
I have a 5-foot LED. All right.
I
Hang
can
on.
see. I can see myself and nothing else.
Who's
um,
emitting light here?
so I will.
I've got 5
seeing-
foot of bright with LED, with a 5 foot of dim beyond that.
Seeing how dark it is in the cave, I will preemptively cast light on Vider's helmet. So Vider
Does it just shine inside the helmet?
Ach, mine eyes!
no,
My
from-
God, I've gone blind.
it
The
shines
helmets,
outside,
they do nothing!
outside the helmet.
Given that it's near, there's definitely like a disco ball effect.
So Vider will
Which is
be
actively probably messing with your optics, by the way, Peter.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Vider will be shedding bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 feet. Yeah, good doctor, you can lead the way. Light.
I most certainly will not, and this is rather impractical. I can understand that you have foreseen the consequences, but would you redirect it somewhere else, please?
I pull
I
out,
clip my electric lens into my belt and switch it on.
I pull out my sword because it's moon touched, and I just read that it sheds bright light in 15 foot and dim light in an additional 15.
well, you see, good doctor, you're the only person that requires the additional light source. I say, gesturing to the other two.
Actually, you would be surprised. With a small. Yes, you're right. Of course. What was I thinking?
I don't know you're undead.
No, I know.
Okay, what's your light source distance, Mark 7?
50 feet of bright light and dim light 50 feet beyond that.
Overachiever.
Hey, it was cheap.
I gave mine away because I don't need it. I say as Shorsa lands on my shoulder.
Boy, that is not how I thought that was spelled.
Shorsa, yeah, it's Irish.
Yeah, not gonna lie, my first thought was Circe from Greek mythology.
Yeah, I was guessing that. Okay.
So you should all have appropriate light sources.
Yeah, the E makes an H sound in Celtic for some reason.
Because the Celtic was not meant to be using a Roman alphabet.
Yeah, no.
Very well. Perhaps I shall take the lead.
Do I know anything about this cave?
You've heard rumors about it, and that it supposedly is the largest cave in the region that connects to the massive tunnels of underground, the massive network of underground tunnels that stitch across the majority of the continent.
Okay. I'll walk
But-
in.
You know, having never been here, having been a tree
Yeah.
for most of your existence.
So I will quite happily lead the way, if there are no objections.
Yeah, I'll take point behind you.
Very good.
So, Mark 7 gets here. Herschel, who will be falling in behind?
I'll bring up the rear so that the wizard's not
I'll
in the
go.
back.
Yeah, I'll go in the middle.
I'll be behind Dr. Vida. Dr. Vida.
So, as you make your way into this cave, everyone make me a perception check.
Okay.
Come on, my beautiful tree boy.
18.
16.
Heyo.
20.
That's a 5.
17.
A gentleman's 5.
Can I propose that I have disadvantage on perception checks right now because my entire goddamn helmet is lit up?
There's also a bit of
right.
there's also a bit of moss stuck to it.
Why is there moss stuck to it?
Because that's the material component for light.
Well, that's
Wait, if
not
you're a
staying
focus, you
on.
don't need that.
He pulls that off immediately. Does that end the spell?
No. You rub the moss on a thing and it lights up.
Okay.
Sorry, is this the moon touch sword? Is the 15 feet? 15 feet?
Yes.
Okay. And what's light? 2020?
2020. I like how we've got 10-10 from Herschel, 15-15 from the Moon Touch Sword.
Oh, no. I have 5-5.
I'm sorry, we got 5-5 from Herschel, 15-15 from the Moon Touch Sword, 20-20 from the Light Spell, and then 50-50 from the Lantern.
Everybody bring your own flashlight.
I mean, I had 60 feet of dark vision, but okay.
Wait,
Which
yeah,
is
why did you
very
have a light?
Which is very soundly being shut down by this light.
I didn't have a light. A light was forced upon me.
I didn't. Duroc thinks you're just a human.
I know.
So, and to be clear, the way that I typically run dark vision is that it's meant to be an adaptation for your eyes to be seeing in darkness. So whether or not your dark vision is active, basically sort of how like in reality you can't see in the dark if you're standing in the middle of the light, your dark vision activates if you're not in light. Basically.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Seems decent.
So
And then
if you're
talked
standing in a
about
bright light source, your vision is the light source.
Yeah, and we had also talked about Vider's doesn't work if he has the occluding function on his helmet.
Yeah.
So he's sort of doubly out of luck if he wants to use his own right now.
You can always just tell Duroc that you have dark vision capabilities, and he'll take it off.
Well, I don't have to right now.
All right, so we've got two paths here. Did we see anything with that perception check?
Yeah. So with the perception checks, everyone who made over a 10, so everybody but Herschel. As you make your way in, you begin to hear echoing noises. The first thing you pick up is a series of scratching noises that are coming from both directions. The sort of rapid, like scritch and tacking of what sounds like small talons across hard stone. And so you begin to pick up the rattling of chains, and you hear a series of small voices from either direction, sort of cackling, the sort of.
Well, they sound charming.
Did the chains come from both directions or just one?
Both. Although there are more coming from the southerly direction.
I'm sorry to have to do this to you, Doctor, but I'm going to have to remove that light for a moment. I pull out another separate bit of phosphorus cross. Are there any like sort of loose stones around the ground?
Yeah.
I pick up a stone, rub it across that, and then pass the stone up to Mark 7. If you'd like to throw this down an area where you don't want to go yourself, it'll potentially provoke something from any of these sounds we're hearing.
Intriguing.
I would also say far more comfortable with that off.
Everyone have your weapons ready just in case. And I will attempt to throw the stone in this direction.
Roll me an athletics check. Just to see
Oh
how
boy.
just to see how well you make this toss.
Just ping ping, knocks back.
4.
Oh.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
I guess that's why I said attempt, isn't it?
You appear to have dropped the stone, Captain.
Hang on. So you toss it, and it's not a super long toss. It doesn't actually make it through the archway of the stones. However,
I pull out a scroll and cast Mage Armor. as I see the rock hit the wall, I just pull out a scroll from my pouch, unravel it.
I love you can hide the monster and whatever you're rolling's name, by the way, with Beyond 20.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's pretty great.
Except for that green number there. I don't like that green number.
Whatever it is, it's got a -2 to whatever that roll is.
Yeah, it's got a -2, boys. We got it.
So
So it and Cardon are matched in intelligence.
So yeah, I pull out the scroll, unravel it, say Armis, and there's just the mystic scribing on the scroll vanishes, and there is a light bluish purple glow that appears around Duroc for a moment and then disappears as my AC goes up to 16.
Oh no. Up to 16?
Yeah, up to 16.
Squishy wizard.
I'm a wizard.
Yeah, squishy wizard.
We digress.
So immediately the rattling of chains stops for just a moment, and then picks up again and becomes louder as something is approaching, and that cackling begins to increase in volume. And then around the corner comes what looks like some kind of fleshy chicken. And then there's another one. And another one. And one more. And then behind it comes a pair of red-skinned, spined devil creatures, wailing, like swinging, whistling chain blades as they come herding these abyssal chickens around the corner.
William,
we're going to roll some initiative.
please remind me. I apologize. The term in this setting for abyssal creatures it starts with an L, right?
They're typically it's called fiends in the common nomenclature, but they are from the realm of Zarheim, which is
Zarhemian, right?
Yeah, Zarhemian is the if you're trying to be fancy about it, which of course Gerhard always is.
Of course. It's not fancy; it's accurate.
You want to give us a?
Yes, I'll give you a turn tracker.
Turn tracker. Yeah.
And Zarheim is the precursor word for pain home.
My second natural one of the evening.
Do I want to go that far down in the initiative?
I can't select a token.
Can you not select your own?
You
I'm
might
trying.
Make sure you're on the actual clicking button rather than the ruler.
Oh, yeah. That'll do it every time, huh?
Yep.
Well, you can knock that 4 over there. That's fine.
Zarhemian rounds is very funny.
Except in this one, Beelzebub has a chicken set aside for me.
I was going to say, I didn't know Duroc had 2 more familiars.
Many familiars. I mean, if I cast the flock of familiar spell, I would have 2 more familiars.
Oh, there's a Waka Flocka Flame joke in there somewhere.
Not that there's much I could do because I can only control them one at a time in combat, so it's really more of a non.
Do you know what a bard that casts Flock of Familiars what they summon?
What?
They're bandmates.
No, a flock of seagulls.
All right, you're next in the trebuchet.
I took the catapult spell for a reason.
Oh, nice.
So you could have a catapult.
All right. So
my daughter's D&D club always calls that just casting yeet.
Ooh.
I cast yeet.
I call it that too.
Oh God. Cardon, you're first.
I guess that means
I'm
magic
also
wisdom is
at the
Kobe.
back. Is it?
You can pass to your allies.
Vider steps aside and again with the heels together, slight bow. Off to you, Kata.
Yeah, as my slightly larger frame squeezes between everybody. And how big are these? I'm assuming they're small chickens.
Don't get in the tight pass.
The abyssal chickens are actually sized tiny. The
Okay.
The demons behind them are size small.
15, 20, 25, 30. Gets off to the side, and he's just going to punt this tiny chicken back through the way that it came. So, 1 second. 12, I am hoping hits.
Does 12 hit an abyssal chicken? You actually miss.
Awesome.
Remember, small things have high AC because they have a high dex.
This is true.
Or because they're just small and harder to hit.
That too.
Bonus action. Kick it again. 21.
Hey.
That hits.
Yeah, I would hope.
I see your dice is operating on the rule of opposites.
Yep. For 6 points of damage.
You punt it in, and it just kind of
Up.
flies back a bit, and then you see. So it looks sort of like a pair of legs and a giant eyeless mouth, and then like a pylon of meat that sort of rises up off of its back.
So
as you kick it, though, it flies back, and the pylon separates with this awful peeling noise of like flesh tearing apart, and becomes a pair of flapping wings that just kind of flutter it back into its place.
Oh.
yeah, I'm assuming that with the first kick, it hopped up into the air, and when it went up into the air and did that, he was like, nope, and just did a backwards roundhouse kick and just right into the wall.
Please never say the phrase pylon of meat again. I'm not even kidding.
It's a good phrase, though.
But that's me.
SFX provided by me.
Oh god. Okay. Mark 7.
Alright, Mark 7 will advance on this abyssal chicken.
Meet additional pylons.
We're going to go with a short sword first. 14.
You hit.
Hey! For 9 piercing.
This one, as it comes back down, you just kind of step up and bring your cutlass up and just slice through it, and it just collapses.
And then I shoot the one behind it.
All right. You hit.
Alright, so that goes up to 5. For 11.
You shoot it squarely in the face, and it also dies.
Yeah, I think that's everything I can do for now. Let's save my focus points.
My chicken says.
But yes, we'll just level crossbow at chicken. Fire. Next.
All right. So now it is the cackler's turns. As from around the corner, you see a third one, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, make its presence known, and it will... It sort of looks around the room, sees what's going on, and kind of brings its hands up and spins the chain around its head, and a ball of fire begins to form around the head of the chain, and it just kind of whips it at Herschel.
You can try.
I don't know why it doesn't roll that. Okay. Let's try that.
Do you have it set up as a spell card on the sheet?
There's a 19.
Oh, I have a 19 AC.
So yes.
Yeah.
It deals 5 points of fire damage to you.
We've been better.
Are you vulnerable to fire?
I don't
No.
believe so.
No.
Hey.
I would not put that massive a weakness on a player character race.
Good.
Yeah. Any vulnerability? Ooh.
Yeah.
And the other
I do not. We've got okay. Now we're back up. Fine. I don't.
when did the recording stop?
And no, I didn't stop. It's just like we were sitting 0. Like our connection was 0 kilobytes per second.
Weird.
Huh.
But now we're back to normal.
Okay.
I don't know why. But I fixed
Oh,
it.
we're back to normal. So
Well, now it's saying we dropped no frames, where a second ago it was saying we had dropped 900 some odd frames. So maybe nothing
Weird.
happened. We'll find out on the recording.
yep.
Hopefully everything is fine. What I can safely say that Mark 7 is less than fine.
I
After
can't
taking that
see Mark
particular
7's
hit.
numbers. I can only see Mark 7's bar.
Oh, well, I am at 26 out of 35 right now.
Oh, it's because that's visible to Ed rather than everyone. Yeah. There we go. And that makes it Durak's turn.
Right. So the chickens aren't that strong, but I don't know if I want to waste a second level spell on them. But I might kill them and the 2 cacklers. I've got
Question
3. What?
for William: would that be a spell attack, or would
the
would
firebolt,
that
would be a
count
spell
for?
attack roll, yes.
Would that count for interception?
Does it just say attack roll or weapon attack?
Yeah, it just says with an attack.
Then yes, you would be able to use interception.
Okay.
That Venn
Then-
diagram is the most convoluted part of this.
Attack roll, weapon attack roll, spell attack roll?
God forbid unarmed strikes be counted as weapons but not weapon attack. Anyway.
Yeah, so then he would have tried to intercept that firebolt.
All right. Then
if
just
you can
impose
do that.
disadvantage on it, yeah?
No,
reduce
I'd reduce it by 1d10 plus my proficiency.
Ah, well, go for it then.
You only take 2 points of damage.
Well,
As,
it was a nat 20, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it
No,
only
it
did.
it did roll 2 dice. It's
Oh, I
normally
see.
a 1.
I see.
So yeah, the short sword dove out in front of your face and split the firebolt a little bit, but still got you in the forehead.
So I reach into my component pouch, pull out a small stone, like a small fleck of stone, flick it past Dr. Vider and Herschel. You see this small little like fleck of stone fly past you. It bounces off the far wall just past Mark 7. William, how sturdy does this wall area look like right here?
It's pretty solid rock.
All right, cool. So yeah, it bounces off the wall past Mark 7, hits this chicken right here, and I raise up my hand and click the 2 rings on my index and middle finger together as I say Raptura, and I need all 4 of them and anything else that might be within 10 feet of this chicken that I can't see to make Constitution saving throws against shatter.
All right. Con saves for the chickens. Probably not. Yes.
Ooh.
And
Con
saves
save for my chickens and beer for my demons.
I think the second cackler makes it as well.
Yep. DC 15. So 13 thunder damage to the ones that fail, 6 thunder damage to the ones that succeed. As there is just as that little chip of mica hits the chicken and he says the word and clicks his fingers, there's just a from that area as the cave rocks from the spell.
That one dies.
Well, 2 out of 4 ain't bad. Yeah, I think that's all I got. So do that, and then I'm just gonna step back this way. So that I'm no longer in sight of the other cackler.
Well, chicken's turn. So let's see. The cackler in the northern tunnel just kind of as coming flying over its shoulders is a veritable cavalcade of yet more chickens that kind of burst their way in. They have
Contact
to dash
left
where they're
side.
at.
Oh, jeez.
They have to dash to get where they're at, but they all pour in. And this one, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, flaps its way over here to get to the other side of. Actually, no, it's a little intelligent. It's gonna flap right here.
Why did the chicken cross the cardon?
It's gonna flank Mark 7.
To get to the other mark.
For some foul reason.
First, it's gonna try and get you with its bite.
I feel like I should have said to get to the other robot.
Quick, Herschel, throw your mayonnaise on them.
23 deals
Alright.
6 damage to you.
Alright, that hits.
Chicken sandwiches are eaten
And
with
then it
mayonnaise.
tries to do
Jesus.
claws.
Does
14
it seem,
Miss.
misses you.
does
My
it seem
AC is
like
18.
does it seem like these other ones were here already, or like they were just summoned?
It definitely seems like they were here already and just kind of flapped their way down the tunnel from behind the cackler in the north.
Okay. I just wanted to know if the cacklers were bringing them in, or if they're
They seem to have been herding them for some purpose.
okay.
I mean, why else do you herd chickens?
Because they're simple chicken farmers and we're raiding their their cave.
They're abyssal chicken farmers.
Oh, I'm just a simple chicken farmer. I don't know nothing about no baby. All right.
Herschel, it's your turn.
Yeah. If I drew a line here, would you say that gets how many would you say that gets?
I would say that it would
Oh,
get.
wait, sorry, it would have to be from this square.
Yeah, I would say that it would get 1, 2, 3 chickens and the cackler.
How wide is the line, I guess, would be the question.
It is a direct line 5 foot wide.
So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, then I would say I'd say 4 chickens in that case. 4 chickens and the cackler.
Okay. So Herschel will move here and then cast Tasha's Caustic Brew.
It's a good spell.
And it's the first time I've ever done it. It feels exciting.
That's just called Acid Stream in the UA. It's much better name as Tasha's Caustic Brew.
Yeah. A giant line of acid thrown out of one of the bottles in my branches coats these chickens
Hey.
If they fail a DC 14.
I put that bottle in your branches when I made the figure. People at home
And you
can't
put-
see it because it's just off the screen, but
Let's see. 4 chickens.
Vito warned you it was going to spill if you didn't put the proper lid on it.
Failure.
yeah, no, because in
Failure.
Hero Forge there is the one bottle that has like the gunk flowing out of it.
1 success. And then the cackler. He fails.
Hey, they are covered in acid until they use their action to scrape it off. It takes 2d4 at the start of each of their turns.
Okay.
So nothing the now, but soon.
Except for the one that saved it.
Yeah.
You missed one chicken.
It was the one that's right in front of you because the bottle's in your branches, so it just kind of went over it.
It didn't touch its flesh pylon.
Which is a different word than the one that was asked not to be said.
Dr. Veter.
Do I have line of sight? Is that one under partial cover? That cackler up there?
I would say like half cover just from the sheer mass of chickens between you and it. Half cover is only a +2.
Half cover from massive chickens that are smaller than it?
Yeah, they're flapping all over the place. Like,
if I miss it by 2 or less, can I hit one of the chickens instead?
probably. We'll see how it goes.
All right. Veter stays where he is. Actually, you know what? If Veter will actually probably take a step to there, so he has a little bit more cover, and then we'll draw a line with his pistol, and I don't have that on my Roll20 sheet. I mean, in my D&D Beyond sheets. I'm just going to roll it off my Roll20 sheet. We'll go ahead and make a pistol attack, please.
That wouldn't have hit its regular AC.
Okay, fair. All right. So yeah, so
and it cracks off the wall.
Okay. Yep, that's my turn.
All right. Cardon, you're surrounded by chicken.
Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. I'll stab at this one that's in front of me. This one right here. Can I hear anything on this side? Because I can't see anything over there. Do I hear anything else from this over here?
You still hear one of them cackling.
Oh, okay. So, stab. I'm assuming that hits.
The laughter doesn't really seem to stop. Yes, that hits.
For 6 points of piercing damage.
This was the one that was injured, so it is now dead.
And going to step through 5, 10, 15. Over here. Oh, look. 15, 20. And then bonus action headbutt. This one. 15.
That just hits.
All right. For 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Bonk. That was enough, though. So.
Oh.
I need you to make a wisdom save.
All right, I can do that.
I would like to use my reaction for a captain feature.
Mm-hmm. What is this feature?
Outmaneuver. Whenever an effect caused by a creature you can see forces you or an ally you can see within 30 feet to make a save, I can spend 2 focus points and give a bonus of 1d6 to the save.
Can you see the cackler?
Probably not actually, yeah.
Don't think you'd be able to do that.
Yep, that's fair.
All right. No worries, I got this. 12.
You do got this. You don't take any psychic damage.
All right, cool.
As it dies, it unleashes a last horrific laugh that reaches out to scar your mind, but you steel yourself and ignore it.
All right. And yeah, that's action, bonus action, and that's all I'm willing to move. I'll just shout back that this room's clear for now. I don't know how many more cacklers there are.
Mark 7.
Acknowledge cleaning up the refuse. I would like to stab this chicken. That's right in front of me.
All right.
Flanking, so advantage.
Yep.
All right.
Put a fork in it. It's done.
That's 26 for 9.
Oh, that almost kills it.
I will spend... How many do I need to spend? 2 focus points to make an additional short sword attack as part of the attack action. 23.
That hits.
For
You
10.
Don't have to, yeah, that would have killed it outright.
Yeah. And then as a bonus action, I will shoot the cackler with my hand crossbow.
Go ahead and fire. Again, it still has That will still hit it,
17?
even with its half cover.
For 11.
It dies.
Cool.
Anything else in your turn?
Well, I will 10, 15. I'm gonna move right there to be in the way and stop people from getting to what I presume are the more squishy among us.
All right.
Yes, that's me.
All right. So then on the cackler's turns, you see the second cackler from up north sort of peek its head around the corner where you had just shot the last one, and it just kind of leans its head out from around the corner, so all you see is its giant toothy grin and these horned tusks, and it just looks directly at you, Mark 7, and it just kind of opens its mouth, and from it you just hear your own voice going, next, 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 on repeat. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Cool. I believe, yes, Precursor Dispassion gives me advantage. 18.
There's this weird twinge in your circuits that almost like would have tried to disable something in you, but you just kind of make a mild adjustment and ignore it as it fails to cast Tasha's hideous laughter at you, and then it runs away.
Is that precursor feature? Is that an aspect of your class?
That's part of my culture, Precursor
Oh.
Gnome, a variant on the study of science, which actually just uses Vidalcan traits from Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica.
Yep.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay, neat.
My turn?
And that'll make it Durak's turn.
Cool. So rather than wasting another spell on these things, I close my eyes while I sort of lean against the wall next to where Vider is. Close my eyes, and Shorsa flies off. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And comes in to attack the chicken that's between her and Herschel. And as she does, from over in the hallway, I raise my left hand and swipe down. And this sort of ethereal gauntlet, like this sort of ethereal spiked armored gauntlet, just sort of surrounds Shorsa and slices down in using the same motion that my hand goes as I cast Shocking Grasp through my familiar. Did I get advantage for flanking?
Yep.
All right. 26.
Not that you needed it, you hit.
For 8 lightning damage.
Not enough to kill it.
And then Shorsa will continue flying, thanks to her flyby feature not provoking any attacks of opportunity. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. To land on Cardon's shoulder.
I feel like that's more of whoomp.
Yeah, a small toddler just jumped on you.
All right. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Chickens. Chickens go.
Acid damage, please.
Yes. Roll 2d4.
I hope the one
man,
I
you can make me
clawed
do it.
dies.
That was the one
Oh wait,
that it
that's
saved.
the one that saved, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Cool.
It would
If
have.
It hadn't saved, it would be dead. Yeah.
Max damage on the Shocking Grasp, minimum damage on the Caustic Brew.
That's what happens when someone doesn't update their reagents. They get bad and gross.
In this
Yeah,
case,
that
they're
too.
supposed to be gross, but not bad.
That 2
Yeah.
on the chalkboard had more effects than you realized.
Maybe it was supposed to be a 3.
Chickens do one thing. They swarm. So they're going to swarm.
Cool. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Let's see. We're going to give 3 chickens to Mark 7 and 2 to Herschel.
What am I gonna do with these?
So first, they're going to try and eat you.
Sorry, we don't have the gift receipt, so you can't return them.
In Stardust, Herschel, chickens eat you.
I'm gonna get wrenches to invent a combustible chicken that burns your house down.
So, coming at you, Mark 7. That's a critical hit, 8 piercing damage.
Okay, that's another 8 coming at me. Ow.
Man, these chickens are really eating Mark 7.
So 16, which I think misses you.
Yep, my AC's 18.
Yeah. Second chicken. 7 misses you.
Just put my boot on that one.
19 hits you for 3 slashing damage with the claws.
That's
You put your boot
been
on it,
3
and that
attacks.
explodes your claws.
I mean, that's...
No,
Oh.
they each get 2 attacks.
Oh, well then. Yes, 19 hits, so take another 3.
Yeah, they get 1 with their bite and 1 with their claws each.
Extensive damage sustained.
It's a 17, which will miss you.
Mm-hmm.
And 22, which will hit you for 7 damage with the claws.
Oh boy.
Jeez.
Are you...
Do they have pack
Finished.
tactics?
No, they're just flanking.
Because one of them isn't flanking Mark 7.
Oh, yes, that is correct. Sorry. That was the one that missed with everything.
They all got better rolls on their first rolls anyway. So.
Yeah, none of them took advantage of the advantage.
Fair.
And then 2 for Herschel.
Now both of these are flanking.
Hey.
Yes. 8 piercing damage to Herschel.
Sure. Yeah, as one does.
I could kill them all, but you're kind of in the way.
8 slashing damage to Herschel.
Good.
I did not expect these chickens to do as well as they're doing. They have a +4 on their attack roll.
So potions were a bonus action, were they?
They are a bonus action to drink a potion for yourself. It's an action to feed them to someone else.
Okay.
Is there
6
some
piercing
fearsome
damage.
foul?
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So 0. Yes, I'm down, or am I?
You're unconscious.
Unconscious. Okay.
I mean, it's a mindless chicken.
Herschel joins us,
They've never
dies
seen
in the
such
first fight.
greenery. Ah.
I
Well-
think that hits you.
So that's 2 failed
Sam,
death
welcome
saves.
aboard.
When you come back, you can be the birch tree.
I will say,
Set fire to my body.
because these things are tiny, this is actually only going to inflict 1 failed death save on you
All right.
because they're trying to scratch into your wooden surface.
See, if the wizard was dead, it'd be 2 failed death saves.
I mean,
Well, he
yes.
feels bad too. It's fine. I'll take it. I'll take the pity.
Yo.
Don't worry, when I hit you, it'll be all right.
Look at it this way. Now you can cast Fireball and not worry about collateral damage.
Well, no, Mark 7's still there.
I have concerns.
Roll me a d20, Herschel.
Death save.
Oh,
Wait.
I'm kidding.
Wait, no.
What is an S?
Hang on.
What is
wait.
an S?
Wait, that's one S20.
What is an S?
You should-
Oh my god.
There
So,
you go.
Yeah, that's-
hang on,
Failure.
hang on.
Holy shit.
I reach out, I grab the air, I twist it backwards,
Don't
roll again.
Do that, you fool! You fool! Don't
I'm
do
trying
that.
to get you a better roll.
That might just make him roll a 1.
Do it.
Wait,
Do it.
hang on.
Might roll an 11.
Wait. Dumb
No,
question time.
Because I will.
It is a saving
a diff-
throw.
Cool. I use outmaneuver.
So does outmaneuver say an enemy or a creature?
Oh, an effect caused by a creature you can see. So no, damn, I can't.
It's not caused by a creature.
It was worth a
I-
shot.
And I was going to say something, but it would be metagamey as hell, so I'm not going to do it.
Are you going to make him re-roll his 1 failed death save?
Hang on, let me read Chronal Shift real quick.
Because they have.
I've
to take
always
a second
wanted-
to answer.
I've always wanted to make a grappler. And just, I was reading some fun rules about Battle Master and how the feats started to synergize.
Yeah, no. Reroll that. I'm going to use Chronal Shift.
Okay.
I'm going to see if it gives you a bet. See,
Yeah.
hey, successful one.
Success.
You're
Not
right.
that
You
it
know
would
what?
make
that
any
would
And
difference.
John, I apologize because I think you answered this last time, but I don't remember. Are our characters aware that you have done that, or are all of us sort of jumped
Yeah,
back
no,
in time?
you can see it. You watch you watch it sort of roll itself back.
Okay.
Although you don't see what it changes,
Yeah.
because it's hard to tell what a failed or successful death save looks like.
Fair.
These are just birthing pains. I mean, I'm not even a toddler yet.
You're several hundred years old.
Fine.
Dr. Vita,
Um.
Medical doctor?
Yes.
Virologist.
Asking for a friend.
Let's.
asking for a
I mean,
friend.
I was going to say.
Vito takes his pistol and actually I think keeps the pistol out and is sort of using it and
They are actually size tiny. You can stand in their space.
yeah, I is this a valid space or no?
It'd be tight, but yeah, you can be there.
Well,
Okay,
it wouldn't be
so
tight because they're tiny.
Oh yeah, they're tiny. Yeah, that's fair. No, it's not tight at all.
Vito comes over and sort of keeps the pistol out, keeping an eye on the demon chickens, and says, "Well, it's time to put this mud to the test, then, yeah." And we'll. I'm going to use one of mine because I don't want to take something off of yours, but
No, I get those for free. Feel
okay.
free.
Then reaches out. Are they in your branches?
Yes.
Reaches up and takes.
The
You
experimental
have
potion.
Yeah, the experimental potion, and pulls it out, opens it, and with his, I would have to assume dry mayonnaise encrusted hands at this point.
No, I cleaned you.
Haven't
Remember?
had a chance to stop and wash up.
No,
I-
He used the orb of cleansing, so
Oh, that's right.
I
That's right.
cleaned you.
Okay, yeah. We'll take it with his gloves, and we'll start applying the mud.
All right. Do you want to roll it or should I?
Why don't you roll it? I don't want to be. I
Oh.
don't want to be blamed.
Go on, kill me.
So-
Come on.
I know why we stopped.
Hey.
While you're doing
All right.
that, I know why we stopped sending signal to YouTube earlier.
why?
Because the new YouTube studio requires somebody to be in it at all times for it to function properly.
Okay.
So
Thanks, YouTube.
I had tabbed away, leaving it running in the
and then
background.
your great disabler shut it off, didn't it?
Well, no, I didn't shut it off, but it wasn't in the focus anymore. So YouTube decided I wasn't watching it anymore. So YouTube decided the stream wasn't running anymore.
Wow.
That sucks.
YouTube is
Hey,
YouTube
YouTube.
only works with 2 screens. If you can't afford 2 screens, you can't stream on YouTube.
Hey, YouTube. Fuck you.
I mean, he has 2 screens. The problem is,
I have 3 screens.
Oh. Well, then why did you keep? Well,
That's one too many. You need 2 exactly.
Yeah.
2 exactly. Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry. I tabbed away to read a message in Slack. I'm sorry.
so that was your action to use that potion on Herschel. What do you
Yeah.
do? You want to do anything with your bonus action or no?
I mean, I'm. I feel like this is an idiom, but I'm in the chickens now, so I feel like I don't want to move away. I'm gonna stay there. I don't think there's anything I can do with a bonus action.
Cardon.
Whew.
All right. Let's
I mean-
see.
Presumably, it looks like we're wrapping this up, right?
2, 3.
I mean, there's a cackler left, right?
4.
Retreated.
Yeah, and I can't see it anymore. Let's see.
Yeah, it's definitely somewhere around the corner if I had to guess.
10, 15, 20, right there. Okay. And punt
You hit.
for 7-point max damage, 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Almost dead. So close.
Oh,
You've done 1 more damage than your maximum damage.
all right. Key point. Flurry of blows. Another.
You are flanking, by the way.
No,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he
yeah.
forgets first.
Herschel's prone.
Okay.
He's still a
I am.
threat now that he's awake.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
So let's see.
Especially
So
when they're trying to
24.
rip into
24 hits
him. Yep.
for another 6 points.
Now it's dead.
All right,
Especially,
and I'm just gonna.
especially when the chickens are distracted trying to rip into Herschel. He's definitely flanking because of Herschel.
All right, so kick and then full on punt and then keep running or step into the space and let's see.
You want to make that a headbutt?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I'm. Let's see. I'm trying to think of how that would look visually
Badly.
and how
Just
hilarious
like
it would be.
I
Just
mean,
like a diving tackle.
to me, it's the like
Swan dive.
this is me and my brain that is just kind of addled by cartoons. But to me, it's that the cartoon stance where somebody runs in and is just like arms out and like legs out, completely like that sort of like wide stance. It's just running up like that in that cartoon wide stance, and then just wham, head down to the ground on my face.
Jeez.
I was thinking it was more like a bull, like Cardon, like on all fours, runs in and then headbutts up.
See, I imagined a just like a flying tackle, but he snaps his arms to his sides and just dives head first.
Missile dive, yeah.
Up to you. Describe it how you feel like.
But these are so tiny, and he's 8 foot fucking tall and 500 pounds. I could
Missile
You're a
dive,
monk.
missile
You can
dive.
bend completely at the waist if you need to.
Wait,
Yeah.
I got it. Go with me on this journey. You trample the chicken and attempting to dive in at someone else.
The chicken flies up and you basically fly on a windshield. So that's what happens.
I mean, they are sort of flapping up and down constantly.
You
Like
just sort
in
of
their
run.
So yeah,
You don't
on one of
headbutt,
the
you run
ups.
through it.
When
Like
it's on one of the
it
upswings.
flaps up like it's gonna try and bite at somebody, and you just sort of headbutt it back down to the ground.
Yeah. So yeah, while it's flapping up, that misses.
You have advantage.
Oh,
Oh no, yeah,
yeah, not on this one. Yep, that misses. So now we don't have to worry about visuals, other than it just whiffs.
Yeah, you tried, and that now we know why you failed.
All right,
Mark
that's-
7.
Let's see. I'll move over to here though.
Provoking attack of opportunity from one chicken.
Oh yes, for
Yep.
one chicken. This chicken will try and claw you. Does not have advantage. 17? They shouldn't be rolling as well.
That hits.
That's 3 slashing damage. They're rolling too well
This
for
is like-
having a +4.
This is like every time I play a tank character and I have like a 21 AC, and every
3
enemy
slashing.
rolls 23 or higher.
These are
I thought I was
CR
doing-
1/4 enemies.
I was doing
These are
really well with a
hilarious.
19 AC,
Yeah.
and
The dice
Turn
move
into
in mysterious ways. I have a mind to commit some murder upon these chickens. I'm going to start with the one between myself and Dr. Feeder.
Go for it.
This is why I decided to exclusively play backline characters now.
Let me try that one again. Oh, come on.
Oh, good try.
Alright, I'm going to spend 2 focus points to make another attack. Same target. That's
That hits.
better.
These
9?
are CR 1/4 enemies. They should not have been this dangerous. It's dead.
It's not the CR; it's how many of them.
And then I will point blank the one between myself and Cardon. with my hand crossbow. 25
Jeez.
Roll damage.
for
It's
another
dead.
9. Is this what anger feels like, or is that just extensive damage to my systems? But
the
I will stay
floor.
where I am. But I will stay where I am to protect, or do my best to protect the prone Herschel.
Now may not be the best time to run the diagnostics.
From the floor you
Yeah.
hear, "This is anger."
So from elsewhere in the tunnels, you hear. And then just sounds of rocks settling.
Somebody collapsed an entryway.
Or he tripped. Just slid on some rocks.
We may not be alone in these tunnels.
Or he self-detonated.
Durak.
5. Look around. 10. Look around. I pull out my holdout pistol, aim at the one next to Vader, and fire.
All right.
Well, I don't have advantage on that, but a 15
15 hits.
Huh.
for 4 damage.
Doesn't die.
I look at the gun. I feel like my spells are just way more effective than this. Yeah, that's my turn.
All right, there's a pair of chickens left.
Roll me that beautiful bean footage.
So I walk in and go, bam. Huh.
Any acid left on those chickens?
They haven't taken their actions to wash it off, so both of them, well, one of them dies to the acid.
Hey.
Hey, it's the one I shot.
The other one tries to attack Mark 7.
It may try.
It does.
It does.
You say may.
These things are rolling too well. Does a 16
Oh my
hit you?
goodness.
No. And for that I thank the stars.
Oh, that's wonderful.
These dice want you dead. I'm sorry. Oh,
Herschel,
Herschel, it's your turn.
be in
Okay.
here and remove this from me.
Getting up half my speed, and then I can move 2 squares, no problem. I'm going to stab at Z from Hell's Heart.
You hit it.
Cool.
It's dead.
Cool.
Well, if we'd like to stay here for a moment and recover, I can send Shorsa ahead to see what that sound was.
I will step up to Mark 7 and produce a for Mark 7. What would what do you think the equivalent of a healing syringe would be?
I mean,
Probably
it can be
just-
a healing.
Yeah, like the magic in that can work.
Okay. But I mean, if it was something developed specifically for Mark 7.
Then it would probably be a small pack of patches, essentially, for machinery.
Okay. So Vita will step up and produce some micro patches. Say, Captain, you will appear to be somewhat compromised. With your permission, I will proceed with some field repairs.
Deliberately not looking at Vita, but instead aiming the crossbow in the direction the other cackler vanished. Mark 7 just says, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to use a greater healing potion on you.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that for dramatic purposes, any number of healing potions that you have on your person are either magical healing potions or mechanics patches, and are determined when you decide who to use them on.
Okay,
That makes a lot of sense.
That's what I was hoping, because it's.
I'm not going to make you keep track of which potions are for healing biological and which potions are for healing mechanical.
I was hoping that would be the case. Thank you.
Truly a benevolent god.
So while
You say that and he almost killed 2 of us.
I'm alive. It's fine.
I
while
blame
Yeah, that's
Wizards
why I
of the
said
Coast.
almost.
These chickens are OP.
while people are healing
Yeah.
themselves,
Nerf chickens.
I will send Shorsa ahead.
Well, you're welcome to see what you see when Shorsa rounds that corner.
I'll expend a spell slot to create another elixir of healing and
What
drink
was
it
the
down.
what was the thing we were sent to the thing we were sent to kill?
So the thing that was described as inhabiting this cave and having attacked numerous small villages was a massive creature of dark violet, almost black complexion, bestial in aspect, with 4 massive arms and an extended bestial jaw, covered in whitish fur, with glaring red eyes.
Cool. Shor's continues to fly past as if nothing is wrong. Circles around. Comes back. Lands.
And the thing that you saw appeared to be munching on that last cackler.
Yeah, lands amongst Herschel's branches. My eyes open. So, I know where the target that we've been sent to deal with is. It's currently eating the cackler that got away. If we head to the north and then to the east, we'll be in the chamber with it. It's fairly large and intimidating looking, and I would suggest that everyone be fully healed before we attempt to fight it.
Did you
Understood.
notice-
Beginning self-diagnostics. I apply a potion of greater healing to myself.
Yes,
Did you
sir.
notice anything else of import about it that might be helpful in preparing?
I only got the swiftest of glances, as I didn't want to draw its attention to us. Large, dangerous looking.
What about the room it's in? Anything?
From what I could see, fairly, slightly larger than the one we're in now. Roughly the same size as the one immediately to the north of us.
It's the only thing in there.
As far as I could see, it and its meal. I'll send Shorsa the other way to see if I can get any better view.
You get a better look at its eyes.
Oh, because it's looking this way?
Yeah, well, because it's facing southward, but it's chewing on the cackler. So
Yeah.
if Shorsa doesn't make too much noise, it might not look up.
Hopefully Shorsa has a larger range of night vision than it does, considering Shorsa's an owl with 120 feet of night vision.
Did we
You are welcome
Did-
to consider that.
did we know what kind of Zarhemian this was?
From what you were told, it was some kind of experiment.
Ah, okay.
Shorsa
So not
lands
anything.
once again.
A
That-
hybrid. Lovely.
He opens the eyes. So it's facing the southern corridor. The room over there connects to it via another tunnel. Yes, a reiteration of my previous point that it's roughly the size of the room to the north of us. Roughly the size of the room, Cardon, I believe you were in it. Roughly the size of the room to the east of us as well.
Okay.
So not a lot of maneuvering room, but more than this room.
Should we attempt to set some sort of trap for it and lure it in this way, or should we simply
I think
charge in? And...
my supposition would be a pincer movement. Frontline fighters approaching from the south and west, supported on each side by a longer ranged fighter.
I would recommend against splitting our forces. Perhaps an approach from stealth may be optimal.
If possible. My suggestion on a pincer maneuver, though, is that it's fairly large, and if it pins us into a hallway, it will be one-on-one. There will be no way to get around it to flank. So if it's faster on its reaction than we are on our entrance, we will be stuck.
Because
I
you don't
have
understand the
another-
plan. I'm going to take you out of initiative.
I have another option.
Mm-hmm.
Our speeder is armed. We may be
Okay.
able to lure it out and open fire from there.
It's fairly large. I don't think it exits the same way we would. And there were additional tunnels leading past it.
Unfortunate.
Can it fit into these tunnels that lead to the cave? If not,
It can. It would be squeezing, which would make it difficult terrain for it, but
It can,
it can
but
do so.
it would definitely have to squeeze its way through, which is why it's unlikely that we'd be able to bring it this way.
Fair. But if we were to stand then in the tunnels and simply open fire, those of us with the ability to attack at its range,
Certainly. Potentially. There are
Perhaps if we draw enough of its ire, it may attempt to force its way through the tunnels to reach us. We can fall back to the outside.
Is this what do we have? I'll ask out of character. Do we have an indication of what this cave is used for?
From what you've heard previously, it was the primary entrance in the region, the largest entrance in the region, into the Underdark of this world.
Which, in this case, as I recall, is used for the Empire dumping anything that isn't welcome on the streets.
Yeah. And theoretically, it would also probably be a good way to smuggle things across the continent, because if it's dangerous and less traveled, that means it's also less patrolled.
Well, I don't know if it has range capabilities or not, but if we are wishing to engage it from a range, the northern room would be the best option for that. It has the clearest line of sight to the creature.
As a contingency, do we wish to try to set one of these tunnels to explode if it were to jam itself into them, try to force its way here?
Do you have any explosives? These tunnels seem fairly sturdily built.
We would not need to bring down the entirety of it. Mark 7, is there anything in the speeder that would be of use in that direction?
Apart from its armaments, there is nothing, unfortunately. I did not consider the idea that explosives would be needed. I will omit this for future missions.
Can the
Could we?
can the guns on the speeder be removed?
Can they?
No, they're fixed in.
They are, unfortunately, fixed mounts.
Herschel, you had an idea.
Would flying help? If we could keep one of us as bait and keep distracting it and peppering it with bolts or
From the size,
gunfire.
from the size of it, from what I gathered, it should be able to reach the ceiling.
Okay.
It's fairly large.
We could still send the Feta Adler to lure it out, yeah?
Unfortunately, Shersa is not particularly sturdy.
No, but you would be able, unless I have misunderstood the nature of your relationship, you would be able to reform
Yes,
at a given time, yeah?
certainly. However, just because one can be reformed does not mean one's death is not harmful.
Ah, the classic lizard's tail conundrum.
But if one's death serves a greater good, surely that death has meaning, yeah?
The same amount of greater good could be served by standing in the hallway and shooting down it.
Then shall we get to shooting? Or shall we set up some of the surprises first?
I'm not opposed to setting up surprises, but as far as I'm aware, none of us have any to set. You yourself, good doctor, have previously rebuffed such suggestions as you are a scientist, not a demolitionist.
Indeed, but traveling with such adventurers as yourselves, I perhaps had made the unwise assumption that we would have other options. This being an entry into the underground, perhaps there are some here that we could requisition.
I highly doubt that the Empire throws away their explosives.
Is there anything I could alchemize into anything vaguely flammable or explosive?
Do you have those spells?
No.
Probably not on your person at this point, then.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a few spells that might serve to work. However, again,
I have grease.
You have what?
I have grease. Grease flammable?
Yes, grease
Grease
is flammable.
can actually be set on fire, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought.
Do you have a source of flame?
I do actually, because
Oh.
I have like a billion toolkits.
Absolutely. Then we could set that on. We could set a grease trap and set it alight once the creature's within it. If the creature
There we
decides
are.
to come that way. Again, there are other exits, and we do not know these caves perfectly well. It's possible the creature might go a different route.
It's possible the creature might retreat as well.
Exactly. No idea how
But if we
intelligent
heard
it
on-
is.
Cardon
Good.
just leans up against the wall while everybody's talking.
If we were to bring down the entrance to this, we would not only trap it, potentially pinning it underneath, but also
There's an exit beyond it in the room, good doctor. One that we cannot reach without alerting it.
an exit back out to the overworld.
An exit. I cannot see further between. I cannot see further beyond it.
Perhaps we should have asked if there were any other entrances. It seems as though cutting off this access and dumping point would be a
There are.
positive
From
for
what
the region overall.
From what we were told, this is simply the largest entrance, not the only entrance.
Well, then that suggestion is withdrawn.
So
We must make do with what we have.
I still.
Of the options that have been floated, I believe a stealthy approach and ambush is our best port of call.
Yes, I would agree that we need people in the room with it, rather than trying to draw it elsewhere.
Then we fight it in
with
its
that.
den.
Fail these perception checks.
I can attempt to hold its attention.
Yeah, as I believe I unfortunately have demonstrated, I am not apt to be of particular use, either in the realms of stealth or in terms of brute strength. But I would be more than pleased to stand back and open fire when it is in a position for us to do so.
Well, from what I've noticed, you're not all that good at opening fire either, good doctor.
As I have said, my skills lie in other directions. I'm not a combatant.
But you are the best that we have. You cannot be any more or less than you are. Let us move.
Join the.
Actively the worst with a pistol.
100%.
Trying to motivate him. Come on. But I have run out of time and I have to go.
Okay.
All right.
Have fun
Okay.
doing whatever it is that you need to do. If it will be fun at all.
I hope so. It's a Christmas party, essentially.
Well, there you go.
We will
So
see you
I
later
will
then.
see you all later.
I will
Take
pilot
care,
Mark
Andrew.
7 for the duration of the
Yes.
for the remainder of the mission
All
of
right.
the episode.
Please don't get him killed.
I will try not to.
No promises.
Alright, I'll see you later.
See ya.
Before we go, I'm gonna expend another spell slot and make another alchemist potion. This
Alright.
one being an elixir of boldness.
All right.
You get a D4, roll a D4, and add that number to every attack roll and saving throw for the next minute.
No, you get a minute of bless.
Yeah, I'll hand that off to I guess Cardon. Yeah, you make a ton of attacks, yes.
I can for like 3 more turns.
So yes.
Might be relevant.
But actually, if I'm to hold this creature's attention, perhaps
You might need a saving
Mark
throw.
7 or
You might need the saving throws. But I don't like the description of the eyes to metagame.
all right then.
Yeah, you might need the saving throws because we have no idea what this creature does.
Yeah.
And there's a pause of silence, and then the synthesized voice coming from the speaker comes again. In the event that things take a more dire turn than we have expected, allow me to distribute one of these to each of you. And he reaches into one of the pockets of his coat and pulls out very small transponders. They're about the size of a modern car key fob or a bulky USB drive. They are dark gray with just a small, at this point, unlit light bulb on them. And a small button that's a dark red on the side. And he hands one out to each of you. Yes.
What?
The events of things have taken an unexpected turn. I will ask each of you to simply push this button.
And it does.
Describe
It's-
unexpected.
In the event that the combat begins to go against us, they are locators. Yeah, they may prove useful if anyone would need to find us, or if we need to locate one another here underground. Yeah.
So, in the event that our corpses need to be recovered, be sure to hit the button before you die.
Precisely so.
Good to know.
I know what those are really for.
Can I examine this and see what it's supposed to be?
Roll me a technology roll.
I'm not good at those, but I got a natural 20.
I mean, it seems to be exactly what he says. It seems to be a device that emits a signal when activated.
I will put it away.
What would be picking up that signal, you couldn't tell without knowing what's on the receiving end.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure that it was actually like a not like a this is a self-destruct button. Like,
It's a locator. You'll locate the explosion.
it's a bomb.
It does not appear to have the capacity to explode on its own.
Okay.
No, it is it is a transmitter or an emitter. It is you would note, I would assume, with a 25, it is decidedly short range. It's not anything that's going to reach back to the ship or anything.
Yeah. All right. Well then, my suggestions would be Cardon if you're looking to grab his attention, the south tunnel, and those that are wishing to surprise it, the north tunnel. I will go with Cardon. That way I can offer some amount of magical support.
All right.
Very good.
Is the
Okay.
plan put in motion?
Yep.
Gotta be.
Step up there,
And
pull out a dart.
as Shorsha is still in Herschel's branches, so Shorsha is going with the others. Cardon, the east one is the one that.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So 1 minute is how long this potion lasts?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So gets to about right there. Uses his bonus action to swig the potion, and then will run in and use his action to dodge. And just get
now
up
we're
in his
gonna roll
face.
some initiative.
Yep.
You still get to take that dodge action, but
Wow, really?
That'll do it, huh?
That's the same
Why-
roll.
Question for those of us: why do you have a decimal?
Oh,
it's the
so
initiative tiebreaker.
yeah, if you go into the gear section of your character sheet, if you're using the Roll20 character sheet,
Yep.
there is a in the top center middle, like top center attribute options window. There's a thing that says add Dex tiebreaker to initiative. It's a thing that helps really quickly resolve initiative issues in the turn order.
Gotcha.
But no, I'm still going ahead of it. I'm fine. I'll leave it.
What, you wanted to re-roll your own initiative?
I might have, but I'm fine.
Huh.
I have a +7 to my initiative, and I keep rolling 4s.
A.
Mark 7's going fast. All right, well, Cardon, you're up first.
Well, then instead of the initial dodge when I get up to it, I'll just take the dodge action.
All right. Dr. Vita.
I will take a let's see. I guess I'm gonna have to. I'll move forward to here in front of Mark 7, sort of moving slowly, pistol drawn, held in right hand, left hand cupped under to provide stability, and I will take a pistol shot.
So, to again describe this creature, you're looking at a massive, probably 10, maybe up to around 15 feet tall mass of muscle and sinew with these 4 massive arms, 2 long clawed hands that reach almost down to its feet, and 2 much smaller but still powerful arms that look more humanoid in size, jutting underneath those that reach to about mid-thigh. Its entire body is almost it looks almost like a werewolf of like traditional, like if you were to take like a traditional werewolf in shape, you know how it has like the back bending lower legs and the massive arms, kind of like that in terms of general body shape with the extra 2 arms.
Okay.
Its ears are long and pointed, its skin is almost purplish black, and its eyes are like a solid crimson mass.
It's a were-drow.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna 5e doesn't have any kind of take a bonus action to aim option,
You have
right?
to be a rogue.
Okay. I am definitively not. I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot with my pistol.
You hit him.
20. Okay. Cool. 8 points of damage.
All right. Anything else in your turn?
I think. Let's see. Everybody can get past me, right? If I stay
Yes.
here, then no, I think I will stay there.
So this creature is staring down at Cardon as Cardon kind of runs up to it and just kind of makes a bit of noise and sort of stands and takes a defensive posture. And then as it's snarling down at Cardon, a bullet crashes into its shoulder and it turns its head directly towards you, Dr. Veter.
Oh, I appear to have garnered its attention.
Herschel, you're up.
I will squeeze past the good doctor. And from this range, I should be able to, what is it, 25? One more.
I beg
So
your
I'm-
pardon. I am an excellent doctor.
The okay doctor. So it's 20 feet.
The all right doctor.
Definitely doctor. That's a doctor. And then I will throw my spear. Ooh,
All right, roll me your attack. That hits. 7 more piercing damage.
cool.
It is,
He's
however,
the one
now
they call
thrown.
Dr. Field. Okay.
Haha, I got you. How am I gonna get it back?
The spear sticks into its massive shoulder and it just kind of looks at it and then looks at you.
As everyone looks back at me, the spear's in my hand.
Returning.
Durak, it's your turn.
I'm going to step forward. So only Cardon and Herschel are going to be able to see this, but I step forward and sort of, as I do, Durak's eyes flash slightly this sort of light bluish color, which is the color that his eyes normally are, but they just sort of glow slightly as he just says, "Kneel." And I need it. And as he says that, an ethereal crown manifests momentarily around his head before vanishing again. As I cast Command, I need it to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
Wow! I reach.
Wow.
As I see it, trying to shrug off the ability, I grab the air, twist my hand, and use my chronal shift to make it reroll that. Damn it!
Oh.
As you see its head kind of look at you for a second and its legs kind of twitch as if it was going to follow through, and then it just kind of shakes its head in confusion, and you just see the teeth sort of bare themselves across this massive lantern jaw as it
Rolled a natural 20. Made it reroll. Rolled a 15. Motherfucker. Well,
Command is a fan favorite. It's a good one.
It's a good spell. Well, that's my turn.
It is Dragloth's turn now. As it looks around at each of its targets, looks at the wizard, recognizes the magic that was just used on it, doesn't like that magic.
Mm.
There's a Kardosh in the way, though, so it's going to try and smack that out of the way. So first, it's going to try and hit you with a claw.
Disadvantage.
Fortunately, that didn't take a spell slot because I'm Fey touched. So
It's an 18.
18 still hits.
Oof,
16 slashing damage.
All right.
Okay.
Still up. Yep, that
14
hits.
slashing damage.
I didn't hear no bell.
Cardon, you're supposed to dodge.
He's got 4 arms, all right?
And then it only has 2 attacks rather than its usual amount because this thing is not fully developed. So
Oh, good.
Oh,
that ends
Only
its
2
turn.
attacks.
Oh,
It's a baby?
we're okay.
Well,
Not
I
the
feel
mama.
conflicted now.
Not the mama. Oh.
Mark 7's turn.
Yep. So Mark 7 is going to
Get flanking.
Mark 7 is going to run into the room right next to the thing.
here 5, 10, 15, 20.
25, 30. Come on. Get
You know
that,
you
yeah.
wanna.
Get that short
25,
sword
30.
action.
So it can flank.
Yeah, you can draw a line between to you
Yeah,
and
they can-
Cardon
they
that
can
goes
flank
through it.
They can definitely flank from there. So they're going to
2 points of contact, just like my hit points.
2
sword.
points.
Oh my god, you're
Miss.
I had
Oh.
32 at the beginning of its turn.
That's not great. I missed that part.
Oh yeah, you missed the part where it did 30 points of damage.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't.
right there in the chat. See, 16 and then 14.
strikes to make a second attack with that short sword. That'll hit.
Ugh. So it's got to be dead now, right? Like that was a big hit.
I tried to make it kneel so it would spend its action doing nothing, but apparently it's good at rolling dice.
It's an anarchist. No gods, no masters.
My dice just want you dead. I'm sorry. And then it's gonna fire the hand crossbow.
Oh,
All right. My
Very
dice is
nice.
rolling well tonight. That's just how this thing is working, right?
I'm gonna need you to send me that API so I know I can use it.
I hacked roll 20, so it only rolls 15 and above.
All right. That'll be Mark 7. Cardon, you're up.
All right. Well, I have
Hit the
Let's
button.
see,
Hit
a
the
bonus
button. Hit the button. He explicitly told you to hit it before you died.
I will say if you want to hit the button, you can do so as an interact action, so it doesn't take any action or bonus action.
No, bonus action. Bonus action, greater healing potion.
I want to know what it
Okay.
does.
I have that. That is what?
44 plus 4.
4d4 plus 4.
if you do die, try and get your body to slump in my direction.
An attempt will be made.
Hey, look, you got one of its attacks back in health.
Yep.
Yeah, I try to
Hey.
fall in a cool pose.
I'm just gonna pull sunglasses out of nowhere so you guys can weekend at Bernie's me.
You still have that interact. Push the button. Push the button.
Yep. Let's see. Hang on, I need to do something.
Push that button so hard.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah,
No,
he'll-
add a D4 to that.
I did.
That's what
Oh,
the
with the D4.
yeah, that was what the.
Yeah. I rolled a 13, took away 2, and added 1 more. so,
So
One,
12.
all right.
one,
So
two,
12.
and
Yeah.
then-
So yeah, this is not going to go as well as he had hoped. So yeah, 12. So yeah, he'll push the button. This is looking like,
A signal goes out.
yep.
There is, for anyone who is close enough, probably just Herschel, there's a very faint beep from something in Vider's suit.
Huh.
Maybe we'll get our actual.
The explosion's
tank
going to
started.
happen behind Herschel.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to run forward.
You still have your action. What are you doing?
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Dr. Vider is the bomb.
Yeah, he's
Bomb.
gonna dodge again. Actually, no, he's not. He's gonna why not headbutt? Go out like a Kardash. Headbutt it. Advantage.
My head's harder than yours are.
Nope.
You hit him with that
15.
15.
Yeah, both of them were 15. Since it
Wow.
was advantage.
1 on the 4, all 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 1d4, not 1.
Bam.
Yeah, it's rolling
Wow.
it.
That's a big
For
bludgeon.
12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
And that's me.
Ow.
All right.
All right.
It's the bomb's
Dr.
turn.
Vita.
How is the creature looking?
It's looking a little rough. It's taken some hits. It definitely, as you're looking at it, you can tell where, especially as a medical doctor and with your particular field in xenobiology and virology, especially, this thing is not fully grown.
Mm-hmm.
You suspect if it was allowed to mature to its full strength, it would be even more terrifying than it is. But in its currently less than mature state, it is probably looking pretty rough.
So when we all
Is it
die
like,
here, we'll
in
be shut around.
Fourth edition terms, is it bloodied?
Almost.
Vider sort of reaches down, checks the area of the suit from which the beep came, turns and steps up, I think, right behind Herschel, and will draw beat again, and is going to shoot it one
I
more
gotta
time.
say, I'm excited about this barbarian that stands behind the artificer.
You know,
Taking pot shots from behind the tree.
yeah.
A 14.
Misses.
Okay, that's my turn.
AC
You
15.
found the AC.
All right.
Herschel,
see.
you're up.
I will move 20 foot to here.
Woo!
And stab at it with my spear.
You may want to take the extra 10 feet to get advantage with Mark 7.
Oh, yeah, I have 30 foot. I just wanted to be next to Cardon for
Yeah,
in
you
case
can
he
be on
went
the other
down.
side of Cardon to get advantage.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
You can see if you can get a crit.
yeah, that's true. Nah,
But you hit him.
take
Nice.
5.
Anything else?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right, Durak.
So I hold up my left my left arm goes up, and there's a dangling chain hanging from the random assortment of straps and jewelry that are on his forearms. And I reach out with my right hand, grab the chain, draw it back, and hold my left hand as if it's holding something. And the pose in general with the chain looks like I'm basically drawing a bow. And as I do, electricity begins to sort of erupt down my shoulder to the hand, and it spreads, and so I'm basically holding an electric bow, with the arrow running along that platinum chain that I'm holding. And as I do, I just call out, "Ecce inuit in arcum reges," and let go as I cast my lightning bow. Does a 23 hit it?
Yes,
Ooh.
it does.
All right. The lightning arrow pierces into it and sticks, arcing out electricity as it takes 8 lightning damage, and the arrow seems to remain in there.
So the lightning that strikes into it does not seem to be quite as effective as other things.
Well, good to find that out now. And I back up 2 steps.
All right.
Good luck, everyone. I'll tell you a story.
And it's back to the Dragloth. It's been stabbed and punched from several sides, so it's gonna.
It's got a lightning arrow sticking out of it still too.
Yep.
The extra damage goes off at the end of its turn, so.
It brings its arms in around itself, and its eyes look at you, Cardon, and they just kind of flash and begin to glow. And it looks up and emits this bestial roar. I need everyone within 10 feet of the Dragloth, which is Cardon, Herschel, and Mark 7, to make a wisdom saving throw.
You all laughed that I was hanging back.
Oh.
Well, who's laughing?
Not me.
23.
Still
good.
me, yes.
Oh, that's an 8. You know that. Oh, I'm not
So
alone.
Mark 7 and Herschel are confused.
Womp womp.
No, but like in the game, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
You are under the effects of the confusion spell. You will roll a d10 at the
hang
beginning
on.
of each of your turns to see what you do.
Shorsa has to make that save.
Oh, yes. Shorsa also does.
You mean
Hopefully
there's
it
a
doesn't
downside
like
to
it.
carting around someone's owl?
16.
Shorsa's fine.
Sure.
Almost had a Shrek moment where it just like raised higher in pitch and then just poof, feathers.
And now it's Mark 7's turn, so I gotta roll a d10 to see what Mark 7 does.
Hang on. At the end of its turn, that lightning arrow explodes,
Okay.
and it takes another 7, which reduced, however, but another 7 points of lightning damage.
Add to 3.
Like explodes and it's gone now, or
Yeah, it's
let's
gone.
let chart
It's gone now.
know. Okay.
4 on confusion is creature doesn't move or take actions this turn. So Mark 7 just stands there dazed. Cardon.
All right.
They're still an
Well,
active combatant, even if they're under the effects of confusion, so they do still provide flanking.
all
Thank
right.
goodness.
Punch it.
Yeah. Well, I have a sword that is much more effective than my fists right now.
Slice
So
it.
16.
That hits.
Stab into it for 9 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
And then flurry of blows for another, let's see,
Ooh.
26
That'll hit.
for another 7 point. Ooh, I'm rolling max on these. Nice. And natural 20
Oh.
for, oh, now I roll minimum.
Fuck him up, Socrates.
Excuse me, it's Socrates.
How do you want to do this?
So yeah, he'll let's see. He jabs the blade into the stomach, uses it to vault himself up onto the back, and then will punch it in the back of the head so that it falls down on the ground. and then as he rolls forward, he just kicks straight back and caves in its forehead.
Yep. So you as it rolls forward, it begins to roll, and you kick back into its forehead, and its head just snaps down, and there's this crunch noise as several bones in its neck pop, and it just kind of slowly totters there for a second, and then collapses where you had just been standing a second ago, kicking up a decent sized cloud of dust.
And I grab my sword before it falls.
Yep.
Because I'm cool. Looking at his gashes, that was... Oh.
Confusion is a concentration spell, so it ends.
Oh,
I move forward, and I hand Cardon my healing potion.
No need. And I'll spend my remaining 2 key points to use Quickened Healing, which is a new monk thing from Tasha's, which is basically just my hand of healing. Actually, no, it's just my hand of healing -2.
In that case, can
So
I
5
identify
points.
what this creature is, William?
That would be a religion check or a nature check.
Not an arcana.
Gerhard will stow his pistol and walk up to Cardon and say, "That was highly efficient. You look like you have steadied yourself. Do you need any additional assistance?"
Supposing that this is the last thing in this system, I should be fine till we return or rest.
So, the building blocks of this creature's body, Durak, appear to be elven in nature. Specifically, you would say a void elf. However, the rest of its physiology appears to have been made, shall we say, into a housing for a more demonic figure. This is definitely some sort of humanoid fiend hybrid, wearing the outer shell of a void elf in the inner workings of a fiend.
Durak opens up his journal for the first time, sees the extra pages that were added into it. Oh, where did these come from? Oh, flips past them really quick and begins sketching it and also writing the details that he can discern from his investigation. With writing, of course, with his middle finger, rather than a pen.
Herschel's gonna go to that one opening we haven't been to and peer down it, trying to see, if it goes down how far.
After a bit of tunnel, it begins to widen out into a deeper cavern that seems to be bisecting a river.
So, this seems to be some sort of amalgamation of void elf flesh with a fiend inhabitant. The void elf acting as something of a anchor or a flesh suit for the fiend. Some sort of hybrid physiology here.
And it would appear that the Empire is using test subjects to create these.
Yes.
Not simply with wildlife.
Yes, no, it is definitely sacrificing the person that it formerly was in order to create the creature that it is now. Would likely serve purpose as a shock troop if they were able to control the results, so this one seems particularly small for what it could potentially end up as.
It's an abomination, something to do to another thinking being.
Absolutely. However, if we have to think about it rationally, then we should expect to see more of these or similar types of enemies if we are to engage the Imperial forces in the capital. This is the kind of experimentation they create, and this is the kind of experimentation they throw away. Imagine what they keep.
imagine what goes into their experimentation. Vito will kneel by the thing and take a sample of its any kind of fluid that I can pull out and a scraping of tissue.
I'm gonna
It
inspect.
has a dark Icarus blood, and yeah, you can get a muscle.
I'm gonna
like a scraping of
inspect
his
it.
tissues.
I'm gonna inspect it and see if there are any arcane like marks or scarring on it.
Its hide is surprisingly whole and supple. There's not a whole lot of marking on it, but as you sort of pull back some of the mane of white hair, you do find what looks to be a serial number stamped into the back of its neck.
Serial number here, and I read it off as I write it in the book.
Given that it looks undeveloped, does it look like it was a young void elf that was used, or it's just, you mean undeveloped in terms of the transformation had not completed?
Yeah, it seems like the transformation had not been fully completed. It seems like this thing was still growing into what its full capacity would be.
No external markings, which means that whatever process was used to transform the subject was either external, some sort of summoning circle or magic circle ritual, or internal with an alchemical concoction of some sort, or a combination of the two.
I will see what additional information I can draw from these samples. If you would like, Duroc, I would be happy to provide my information as I did on the insectile.
Was this your work then? I say, indicating the pages.
Indeed.
Thank you.
If you have taken the effort to begin chronicling them, I figured pooling our efforts might be of use.
Certainly.
Full-sized art of the creatures in live chat.
I appreciate it. Yes. Any further results that you have would be appreciated.
I would hope that this line of research will not have lasting implications or lasting use. I would like, if we could, to shut down any further sort of experimentation like this, but perhaps it could be useful in bringing these despicable actions to task once we return to the galactic stage.
Certainly. My research is wholly in understanding, not in replication.
No, I was not wishing to imply so. Simply that field research can be useful when encountering the subjects again. But I'm hoping that this being a created subject, we can perhaps root out that means of creation.
Yes. Agreed.
Would it be a strength check while these two are talking to just rip this thing's head off, since we're probably going to need proof?
I mean, you'll be able to get it off eventually, whether you have to rip it off or whether you have to cut it off.
Caught on here. Allow me to assist you. And hold out a hand and make sort of a sword drawing motion. And as I do, just sort of muttering "Tole ferrum rex adium." And as I make the sword drawing motion, a long sword made of shadow with some intricate arcane ruins in it just sort of manifests in my hand, and I will walk over and begin using the far sharper than any material blade to slice through the neck.
Why didn't you had access to that this whole time?
Yes.
Okay.
It takes a bit, even with your shadow blade. The sinews on this thing's neck are thick, and it takes a minute. But you do eventually sever its head from its shoulders. You find that most of the mane on it is actually attached to the head rather than the back of the neck. Although a pair of tufts are growing out over its shoulders and back.
Well, I believe this should serve as ample proof of the task. From here, we should head to Legion Standing, or what was the name of the settlement?
Legion Stand.
Legion Stand, yes.
The other, can we get samples from the other, the cacklers and the chickens?
They've dissolved already.
Oh,
so
okay.
Those were full-blown fiends and don't belong in this plane and have begun to break down after their death.
Okay.
I let go of
Whereas this creature is a hybrid and thus remains.
I let go
Got
of the
it.
shadowy blade, and it vanishes.
And with that is where we're going to end for the bi-weekly period.
All right. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
See you all next year.
Goodbye.